it's Jason here. I'm just chilling in my hotel room before my big race tomorrow, doing the Zion 100 miler. I was a little nervous, a little anxious, not really sure what to expect. But I usually don't do any kind of intro videos like this, for my running stuff. I usually just get right into it, but I don't know, I thought it might be interesting to go through my gear a little bit and also just kind of talk about what's been going on with me. So my last race I did was the Zion 100K in September. I did a rim to rim at Grand Canyon a few weeks after that, and then sometime around the middle of November I was doing another run in Grand Canyon and I rolled my ankle bad. And I honestly, I should have just bailed on the run because it was 2 miles into it, so pretty early into the run. But me being stubborn old me, I decided to run all the way down into the canyon and run out. It was a 22-mile loop, so I basically ran 20 miles on a pretty badly sprained ankle. And it turned out I had 2 partial ligament tears because of that, and so I was out of action for like 3 months. I mean, I couldn't run. It was bad. So I started running again sometime, I guess, in the middle of February, and I've been kind of on the fence on if I want to do this race or not, because I signed up for it before I got injured. I kind of decided like literally 2 weeks ago, yeah, I might as well just give it a shot. I'm signed up for it. Worst case, I'll take it slow, and if I don't finish, I'll at least enjoy a weekend at Zion. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I have been able to get some good runs in, some good long runs the last few weekends. And then the last few runs I've done this week in particular, my ankles felt the strongest it's felt since I got injured. So I think all that's pretty encouraging, and I know I'm not going to win or break any speed records. Like, I'm not fast anyway, but I think if I just take it easy out there and just kind of enjoy the experience for what it is, and enjoy being at Zion. It's a beautiful area, and just kind of go with what race day gives me. I think I'll have a good experience, and if I finish, I'll consider that a success. It's a 36-hour cutoff, which is pretty generous as far as 100 milers go. It's about 11,000 feet of elevation gain, so a good bit of climbing. So yeah, we're just gonna go for it. So it's about 9 o'clock right now. Race time for me is 5 in the morning, and so then the cutoff would be what would that be? 5 p.m. Sunday. So with all that being said, we'll just kind of go through my setup here. So we'll start with the pack. I have the Solomon Advanced Skin 12 running pack. I also have the Advanced Skin 5 that I use for smaller runs, but any kind of big adventure, I definitely want to have the 12 for the added storage. I have the 1.5 liter bladder hooked up in the back with the tube coming out of the side, and then I have 2 17-ounce flasks up front. I usually do sports drinks up front and water in the back. I like Noon just because they have the tablets. They just kind of plop in. It's easier to deal with than than powder. And then another really cool thing I have that Solomon makes is this trekking pole quiver. This just kind of straps to the back of your pack, and so to get your poles, you literally just reach out and just kind of grab them. It makes it really convenient, because the Solomon packs are great, but it is kind of not really intuitive on how to attach poles to the pack. You can do it, but it's just so much easier with this quiver. So I have the Black Diamond Carbon Z trekking poles, and they fold up, as you can see. Definitely recommend having poles for when you're doing a lot of climbs like this. Even at this race in particular, the climb up Mondo Z, like, the poles make it worth it for that alone. So that's my pack. I don't have it all, put together yet, but this is kind of everything that I'm gonna fit in there. So we'll go with the lights first. This is my Kogala Raw Ultra Light. I have the bigger battery pack. This also comes in a medium and a smaller size. This is the biggest size. I use the Velcro straps that it comes with, and I just kind of strap it to the strips on the front of the Solomon pack. This thing will last, gosh, like a long time. I think on full brightness, it'll last 9 hours. On half brightness, it'll last like 24 hours. So I'm gonna be running through the night, Saturday into Sunday. So it's good to have something like this that you know you're gonna have a lot of light for. And this light is so incredibly bright. I mean, it's 800 lumens. Each one of these 5 lights is as bright as one average headlamp. And it projects light outward and upward, I think 120 degrees. So you kind of get like a whole field of vision with this light. The mounting system can be tricky, but once you figure that out, it's by far the best trail light. Can't recommend it enough. I have my black diamond backup light. I'll probably just, strap that around my head just for some more light. You can never have enough when you're out there. As far as snacks go, I just have a couple of sport beans, a couple of gels. I prefer the honey stingers over the goos. The goos tend to dry my mouth out. The honey stingers don't do that. Vacation Races is really good about stocking the raid station, so I probably won't even need this, to be honest, but I just have it anyway. A couple of 5-hour energies for that added boost. I gotta say, this new strawberry banana flavor is excellent. Highly recommend. I got some Squirrel's nut butter for chafing. These are salt tablets, and then I also have Advil in here. I usually don't like taking anything like that, but if my ankle does happen to flare up, that's what that's for. And I'm not gonna be stupid. If it gets to the point where I can't continue, I'm not gonna do another, what I did at Grand Canyon, run 20 miles on a bum ankle and put myself out for 3 months. I kind of learned my lesson there, but with that being said, that's just to kind of prevent any kind of an inflammation that might happen. But I'm hoping not to use any of that. This is my space blanket, just in case I need to take a trail nap in the middle of the night. We use that. I got my chapstick, my backup chapstick. My lips get really chapped. Extra GoPro battery. Nippies, this is a great product for nipple chafing. When you're doing long distance, your nipples can bleed, and I learned that the hard way. My first marathon I ran, I looked down after I finished, and my chest was just full of blood. It was pretty gnarly, but these are awesome. So these will all go in my pack, either in the side pockets or this back pocket here. These are compression arm sleeves. I probably won't need them, but just in case it gets chilly. Neck gaiter. This does a really good job at keeping my neck warm. I'm usually pretty cold, which is why I like this desert climate that I live in now, but this does a great job of keeping me warm. I got this at the Pittsburgh Marathon, as you can see. It's pretty cool. Gloves. My hands get cold very easy. So that's that. Up here we have my Ultimate Direction hat. I love this hat. Super comfortable. That's actually the second edition of that hat, because my first one fell off my head at the Bryce Canyon Ultra up on Red Canyon. If any of you guys have watched my video, it's kind of funny when that happens. So that's version 2 of the Ultimate Direction hat. These sunglasses I just got at the expo today. They're gooders. I usually don't wear sunglasses ever, but sometimes if it's really windy, my eyes will water. So I like to have sunglasses at some of these higher elevations just for that reason. But I don't like wearing them, so they'll probably stay on my hat. Speaking of hat, I just got this at the expo as well. Ultra Adventures Run Elevated. This is a tribute to Matt Gunn. He was the founder of the Zion race and a couple of other races. He passed away in 2020, and so they were selling these to honor him, and I think it's really cool. Back it says hashtag Matt Gunn wants to make you cry. So I think that's cool, and this hat's really comfortable. So then we'll go on to the shirt. I have my Koros Tech shirt. It's amazingly comfortable. It's super breathable, super moisture wicking. Just a great shirt for running. I'll have this on in the morning. This is my Brooks finisher jacket I got for Pittsburgh Marathon again. I use this a lot when I run. It's really good also for if it's really windy out. And it's very breathable. So you're not like sweating too much and then you get cold, you know, like a thicker jacket would give you. I got my New Balance running shorts. These have a liner inside, so it's kind of nice. Exoskin socks, toe socks, best socks ever. They're really hard to get on, but once they're on, they're like a part of your feet. And I mean, you won't have any kind of blistering or any kind of discomfort at all. If you have to get wet going through a creek or whatever, they dry out super fast. These socks are awesome. Can't recommend Exoskin enough. And then my compression calf sleeves that I like to wear. Yeah, these are, it's pretty funny. These are extra large. So I'm like a medium in pretty much everything, but I have really big calves. So I have to get XL calf sleeves and they barely fit me. But I just think that's funny. And here's my bib, 192, first 100 miler. So that's pretty cool. So that's it as far as gear goes. I'll show you this too. This is the race shirt for this year. We're talking about Matt Gunn, how he founded this race. This is actually the 10th anniversary of the Zion Ultras. And then on the side of the shirt here, we have a little tribute to Matt Gunn. And I think that's really, really cool and really tasteful. Really tastefully done shirt. There's the back just in case anyone's interested. So that's it as far as gear goes. I'm just kind of chilling in the hotel room here. I'll probably try to get to bed here in a little bit. I think that was everything. There's my entertainment, a couple of cubes and a book over there. This is pretty funny. So I got these Epsom salts, you know, because nothing feels better after a long run than a nice soak at some Epsom salts. But we have a shower stall. There's no bathtub, so I can't even use them. But it's okay. We'll save them for later, I guess. So, all that being said, I'm gonna get my pack ready to go. Set my alarm for super early. And a lot of this race, if you guys have watched my 100K race video, so 62 miles of this 100-mile course are the same as that. So I don't know how much filming I'll do. You know, I feel like I always say that and I always film a lot. But yeah, it starts at a different spot than the 100K did. It starts up on the mesa and we do the Gooseberry Loop first. And then we drop down Mondo Z, which is that big gnarly climb. You know, and then there's a bunch of loops down there we climb back up Mondo Z at mile like 75, which should be pretty gnarly because that's a heck of a climb. And then the loop, the course finishes up on the mesa with the Grafton loop and the Wire Mesa loop, I think it's called. So it should be fun. I don't know why. I feel like I haven't really thought about the magnitude of it, so I'm not really like super nervous. Like I'm a little anxious, but you know, no more than usual for, you know, any race that I'm in. You know, I think just 100 miles seems like so inconceivable to me that it's like I can't get nervous at it because I can't even fathom it. You know, and I mean, people do 100 milers like every weekend, and people are doing like 200 milers now, and even bigger distances with some through hikes and stuff like that. So it's not like, you know, not like anything super crazy, but to me it's like 100 miles just seems insane. So I think I don't know, I'm just gonna go for it and take it slow and take it easy and kind of enjoy it and see what happens. So with all that being said, I'm gonna sign off and we'll get some cool race footage tomorrow while I'm you know, making my way through this 100-mile course. It's crazy. So we'll see you then.
Thank you. Yep, have a good race, guys. Away we go.
So we thinned out a little bit here from the start of the race. But I gotta say, it was kind of nice having a start with people like that again. Haven't had that in a while. So that was cool. About 7.25 miles in, and you can see the sun starting to come up behind me. It's really pretty. We're up here on Gooseberry Mesa. This is where the last Zion race I did, I said it was like the money shot of the race. So it's kind of cool. We're knocking it out first, and I think we should get a pretty good view of the sunrise once we hit the high point where the course turns around. So that'll be something to look forward to. Really good conditions so far. Hardly any wind. Temperatures were in the 40s at the start. I can already feel it starting to warm up, maybe low 50s, but it should be a really nice day. High 70s, low 80s. And been running 11s, 12s, 13s. I think my last mile was 15 as we get into some of this more technical terrain, but I just keep telling myself the old adage about ultra running is to start slow and then slow down, because it's a long day. So that's where we're at. Feeling good so far, and I'll probably check back in when we're at the turnaround.
I don't know.
There you go.
No, how did you? Okay, good. You didn't bring your puncher?
She always has punchers. I know, she's good. Have you ever puncher? It's like you physically got a puncher. I thought there was a share puncher. Sorry, man.
That's wrong with your mind. It's too early for that.
So 10 miles in, we're at the turnaround here at Gooseberry Mesa. This is kind of like the money shot of the race, and it's especially awesome now because the sun has just come up over the horizon, and that was beautiful. Hi. Still got a long way to go, but views like this make it worth it. So I'm a little over 16 miles in. We finished the Gooseberry Mesa loop a little bit ago, so now we're just back on this dirt road that'll take us back to the Goosebump aid station for the second pass through of that. Start to see the multicolored cliffs of Zion over there. Really, really pretty. Just combination of white and red rock with the green in front of it. It's pretty awesome. So ultra running, especially these bigger distances, are all about adapting. So I was going to take a drink out of my water bottle here, and the plastic tip popped off. I don't know why, but I assumed that like the bottle broke. So instead of just like stopping and picking up the plastic cap, I was just like, well, I guess my water bottle's broke. So basically I'm down to my one 17-liter flask up here, which honestly is okay. I usually don't use both of them anyway, and there's enough aid stations here to where I'll be fine with my my water bladder in the back and my one flask up front. Plus now this pouch makes it easier to store my GoPro, so it's not disastrous, but it was annoying. And then like I'm running, I'm like, wait, it didn't break, the plastic tip just popped off. I could have just picked it up and been fine, but that's okay. So I have that flask just folded up in my pocket, so I can still use it. I think what I might do is use it for like pop, like Coke or ginger ale or whatever at these aid stations, so I don't have to spend as much time there. I can just fill that and kind of chug it on the go and put it back, fold it up in my pocket. So that's my plan. And we're just cruising along here. It's still a little chilly. It was pretty windy up in the mesa. It's pretty exposed up there. But the sun is out, so it'll be warming up considerably here in the next couple of hours. So I'm gonna turn the camera off and keep chugging along. So this is what we're looking at right now. We're making the climb down Mondo Z, down off the Gooseberry Mesa.
That 2020,
So-
that's gnarly because it's like 100 degrees.
Yeah, something pretty cool just happened. I just got recognized by Julie, right?
Yes.
Said she watched my 100K video.
Yeah.
I've never been recognized before, so that's pretty cool. I feel like a celebrity.
You are.
And she says, yeah, I am. Something like that. Whoop, you dropped right there by your feet.
What? Oh gosh. Yeah. Don't have to. That's too far.
What distance are you guys doing, 100K?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god,
I'm,
thought this is a long snake.
I thought that for a second too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome.
My first one.
I have fans apparently. So good luck on your 100Ks, guys. All right, so just checking in here. We're about 27 miles into this race. Just past Virgin Dam aid station. Fueled up a little bit. Still feeling pretty good overall. I'm doing a lot of on and off running and walking. Just trying to conserve as much energy as possible. So I'll do like run 30, walk 30, or run 60, walk 30, seconds. Even on terrain like this, where I would usually run all of this, not for a 100 miler, and especially my first 100 miler. Just trying to save it, but I'm still cranking out like high 13, low 14 minute miles. So my goal was to stay within a 15-minute mile range as much as possible. And I've only had a few miles that were over 15. Most of them so far have been in the 13s. So I think I'm building up a nice cushion for myself for, the inevitable breakdown later. Another really cool thing, I was sitting down eating at that aid station. Another guy recognized me from the Zion 100K video, which is crazy. It's like I post these and I only really think about like a handful of people actually watching them. Most of them like just my family members. It's still weird to think about like people actually watch my videos. Like I'm really not that interesting, but I guess some people like what I put out, so it's very cool. Very unexpected, but very cool. So we got about 9 miles to the next aid station where I have a drop bag waiting for me. That'll be my second of 4 drop bags I have throughout this race. Mostly that's just going to be a change of clothes. I may or may not utilize it because I still feel pretty fresh, but it's just nice to have the option. But other than that, feeling good. And we're gonna keep plugging away here. So we're about 36 miles in to this race now. Just left the Virgin Dam aid station. I think I called that the wrong thing before. We were at Virgin BMX, then we went through Virgin Desert. That's Virgin Dam. Some really cool shots of the Virgin River down there. We've been running through along this rim. It's really pretty. My pacing's definitely slowed a little bit. I still feel okay. It's just gotten hot out. So just trying to make sure to keep taking sodium in and electrolytes and all that good stuff. But I think there's a pretty big climb up to the next aid station. I think it's that mesa straight ahead, so that should be fun. But plugging away here, making good progress. So that's the Virgin River. I think what we were following before was a creek or a wash or a tributary of some sort, but that's the real deal. Up ahead, it's very pretty, very green. Reminds me of the Colorado. Let's see if we can get a view here real quick. It's awesome with the cliffs of Zion in the background. Very, very pretty. So we've hit the, I guess this is the first real big climb of this race. We're going up to the Guacamole Mesa up here. Where it's following this gnarly road. That's what we've climbed so far. We still got a ways to go. It's rough, I'm not gonna lie. I was talking to a couple guys for a little bit. They're from Pennsylvania. Pretty cool guys. Just getting through some of the miles together. I had a third guy recognize me from my YouTube channel, which still kind of blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice in one sense because we're just on a road as opposed to, like, you know, loose rock and whatever. But still, it's quite steep, quite a long climb here. I think it's like a 1,500 foot climb that we're doing. So, yeah, good times. So we're 53 miles in. I haven't checked in since that climb. A lot's happened since then. So just an update. First of all, that climb up to Smith Mesa was crazy. And then there was a nice loop we did up there. There was a lot of hiking going on. Kind of met up with a group. We were all talking for a while. Really cool girl named Laura from Colorado Springs, Colorado. We were running for a while, just kind of helping each other out, get through that loop. Did the down climb off the mesa, which was crazy technical, and I hit a pretty bad wall at that point. And so we got to the aid station, which is back there. That was mile like 52.8 or something. And I just had no energy. So I literally like we crossed the timing mat, and I just laid down on a patch of dirt. And my plan was to take like a 10-15 minute power nap. So I set an alarm on my phone. And after a couple minutes, this dude wakes me up. He's like, "Hey bro, you all right? You need anything?" I guess it was one of the medics working the aid station. Tyler was his name. So he had a cot set up inside a tent with a blanket, which is awesome. So I went in there and I took like a half-hour power nap, which I needed desperately. And then this guy Tyler, he hooked me up as far as like getting me food and everything. Maybe saved my race. So if he happens to be watching this, can't thank him enough. So now we're getting into the night portion here, and I guess this is where the fun really begins. But I definitely feel like I got a second wind after that, and I'm still okay as far as cutoff times. Like in pretty good shape actually. So that's where we're at, and we are gonna do some night miles. So I probably won't film that much until sunrise, unless something crazy happens. But yeah, it was pretty gnarly. So good morning. This is day 2. We're at mile 75. Quite a bit happened throughout the night. A lot went wrong, actually. Trying to even think. I can't even think right now. My Kogala light, I thought it died, but I guess it somehow, like, the power pack just got turned off from inside my pack, so that was annoying. So I thought it was dead, so I busted out my Black Diamond backup light. The strap on that broke somehow, so I had to carry it just with my hand. I think I mentioned on the last update that I was resting in the cot in the tent for a while. Well, I realized shortly after leaving that I forgot my trekking poles in there, and there is some technical sections. So I was able to catch a guy that was coming, the other way back to that aid station, and I asked him if he could let Tyler, the medic, know that I left my trekking poles there. And so I was able to get them back when we went back to that aid station. But yeah, it was not fun to do all of that without poles. The biggest annoying thing was somehow my Coros decided to reset itself, my watch here. So, assuming I do finish, which I think I will, it's gonna be split in 2 parts on my Strava, like 65 and 35 miles, something like that. And that's just annoying because, like, my first 100 miler, not that it matters, but you want it to be all in one data session. I took a couple of trail naps. There was one part where I was falling asleep while I was running. It was gnarly. So I plopped down, took my pack off, used it as a pillow, took a 15-minute nap on the side of the trail. That was nice. So a lot happened there. That climb up Mondo Z that we just had to do was like stupid hard. 75 miles into a race. That climb's hard enough as it is. But that's the hardest part. So now we're back up on the mesa for the remainder of this run. We got to get to mile 80 by 10 a.m. That's the last Grim Reaper cutoff. So we have about almost 2 hours to go about 5 miles to get to there. So we're in pretty good shape. Once we are past that cutoff, we have like 7 hours to finish. So it should be doable, but you can probably tell just by me talking how exhausted I am. Another thing about running through the night section too, there were 2 creek crossings. They were like ankle deep water, and it's pretty cold at night, like dipping in the low 40s. It felt like that water was pretty cold, and there was no avoiding it. Your feet were getting wet, and it was like swampy, murky, gross smelling water. So that's pretty gnarly. But I threw on a fresh pair of socks at that aid station back there, and I changed my shoes out just for another pair of the Ultra Olympus, just an older pair actually, but my feet are super blistered, but it feels good to have dry clothes on again. So now we're up here on the mesa. There's going to be a couple of small climbs, but nothing crazy. You know, and the sun's out again. It'll warm up again here in a little bit. So I think we're on the home stretch, even though we still have a good bit of distance to go. I'm just kind of breaking it up into 5-mile chunks at this point. And I feel okay energy-wise. That last trail nap I took kind of hit the spot. And yeah, I know we have a couple of downhill sections just from what I remember about the 100K. I think this is one of them. My legs are too shot to go much faster than this, but I can at least make up some time and know for sure that we're going to get to that last checkpoint by 10 a.m. So that's where we're at. I was so close to quitting a few times throughout the night. Glad I didn't, but man, you go into some dark places, these 100-milers. Yeah, that was crazy. So I'm gonna walk up this hill, and we are slowly but surely getting there. Just gotta hit this checkpoint, and then I think we're golden. We just started the Wire Mesa Loop, and then we go back up the hill, do the Grafton Mesa Loop, and then we keep going back up the hill to the finish line. So these 2 loops are all that's left in this race. I want to try to get some good footage of Grafton Mesa, since in my last video my camera lens was all sweaty. So I'm gonna have to move a little bit. So here we go. I can't take too much time here, but I just wanted to get a quick video of what I'm running through. These multi-layered, multicolored cliffs that make up Zion Canyon are just stunningly beautiful. I mean, it's unbelievable. And being up here, you get such a unique perspective. Awesome. Like you're coming. Hi there. So, actually making pretty good time through this loop. I'm running where I can, and power hiking where the terrain's a little more gnarly. But make it through here. And we got about a 2-mile trek uphill back to Grafton Mesa. That's a 5-mile loop. And then got about I can't talk. Got about a 3-mile trek uphill from there to the finish line. And I'm starting to get kind of emotional just thinking about finishing this race. So be prepared for maybe for some emotion coming from me. We'll see. But I just love the views that you get on these two loops, Wire Mesa and Grafton Mesa. They're just so stunning. So I hope you're enjoying them too. I'm gonna shut the camera off and finish this loop. So as promised, here is Wire Mesa cliffs. I think this is one of my favorite views in this whole course. It's awesome. But having said all that, I gotta move. Well, made the last turn to the parking lot. Finish line's up ahead. I'm gonna run it out. Yeah. Thank you. And at a 35-hour, 22-minute finish. It's what, 38 minutes under the time limit. And I'm gonna be a 100-mile finisher here in a second. Oh. Pulled it off somehow. I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to finish that race just because of you know, what happened with my ankle injury and being unable to train for like 3 months. I mean, I only had like maybe 6 or 7 weeks of solid training before that race, and you know, I literally decided like 2 weeks ago to give it a shot, see what'll happen, and I was able to finish. What an experience that was. I have a lot on my mind right now about that race, and I might do another kind of recap video to put at the end of my race video here, but I just wanted to record this right now because I am exhausted and I'm driving back to the hotel, and if I'm talking into the camera, I'm not gonna fall asleep. So yeah, I'll kind of gather my thoughts a little bit and do another recap video. I might not even put this one in the video, but what an amazing experience that was. For my first 100-miler, you know, there were some ups and downs. I mean, it's to be expected with any 100. A lot of things to learn, a lot of things I can do better, but just overall, I couldn't have asked for a better experience. You know, from the location to just the vacation races organization in general, just to how the whole, you know, 36 hours went, you know, all day Saturday and part of the day today. It was just awesome. It was awesome. Now, I don't really want to think about running for a while, but I'm super happy I decided to go for it. And, you know, just kind of see what I can do on limited training. It's not like I didn't train at all. Like I said, I did have some pretty long runs over the last few weeks, but I didn't have the mileage I was doing before I got injured, you know, or I was doing like 50, 60 mile weeks kind of regularly. I didn't have that at all. I think my highest mileage week was like 35. So all things considered, I mean, I couldn't be happier. That was awesome. And I'm about to pull into my hotel, so I'm going to pass out for a long time. So I'm very tired. Yo, so I'm just driving home here. I said I would do another recap video, so some bonus content, I guess. Now that I'm kind of rested up a little bit, and you know, I wouldn't say I'm recovered. It was pretty funny trying to get out of bed this morning. I was just like hobbling. It was crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I feel really good about that race. Like I know I said it before, but you know, to have it be kind of a last minute decision to go for it, you know, literally 2 weeks ago instead of withdrawing until next year. You know, even though like I'm sure I could have gotten a faster time had I been able to train for those 3 months I was out. You know, but ultra running really isn't about that. You know, unless you're one of these elite athletes that goes out to win these things, like it's not about how fast or, you know, how good of a runner you are. It's about the experience. And there's so many good experiences that come from doing these races. Like you meet so many cool people along the way, and it's just such a cool community of people. Like I was able to talk to a lot of different people on this race. A lot of guys from Pennsylvania, some guys from Pittsburgh that were there. So that was pretty cool. I still can't believe like one of the probably the most unexpected thing of the race for me was actually getting recognized by people that watch my videos. That still blows my mind. Like that's really cool to think about, you know, because like I said, I post these and like I always feel like, you know, I ramble on a lot, and I always think to myself like, I don't know why anyone would even want to watch these things, but I like documenting my adventures, like for me first of all, just to like so I can have it for myself. But you know, like for my mom and for some of my friends and family back east, just to kind of show them what life is like out here. So to think that, you know, just random people find my videos and watch them and they enjoy them enough to like actually recognize me in person was super cool. So like thanks to everyone that came up to me and, you know, commented about whatever videos of mine that you guys have watched. That was very unexpected and very cool. So that's what these races are about to me. It's the experience more so than like being competitive. Like I'm not a competitive runner. I probably never will be, but I love going out and exploring and seeing new things and having these experiences, you know. And like I think like one of the coolest parts of this race was like in between like miles 40 and 50, just talking to this person, and we were like kind of both struggling a little bit, just helping each other out, trying to get through these miles, you know. And we're up on this mountain, the sun's going down behind this plateau, and it's just beautiful. And like this is a person that like was a complete stranger to me like an hour ago, but like there's something about running that just like people just open up to each other, and so we're just sharing like these super personal, intimate details of our lives while we're enjoying this amazing sunset up on a mountain, you know. And an hour ago this person was a total stranger, and it's like I feel like stuff like that only happens in ultra running, you know. I could be wrong, but that was a really cool part of the race for me to have that experience. Getting through the night was rough. That like there were quite a few different times that I almost quit throughout the night. But I didn't quit. I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did. I was worried at one point about missing a cutoff time. So, you know, at that point I was like, well, I might as well just quit. I might not even make the cutoff anyway. But then I was thinking like, it's one thing if I get Grim Reapered for not being fast enough. That's one thing. But if I just quit, not even give myself a shot, I know I would have regretted that. So But you have ups and downs. Like I got a second wind, and then I went through a low point again, then I got another second wind and another low point. It's just all about like the ebbs and flows of these big distances and being able to manage them and knowing how your body reacts to get you through to the end. And I had a pretty strong finish, I thought. The last Grim Reaper time was it was 10 a.m. to be at mile 80. And I got there around like 9:45, 9:50, something like that. So that was, kind of close. And then once you were past that, you had like 7 hours to finish, I think. So I was just trying to manage my time from there to the end of the race. But the whole time, like once I hit mile like 90, the whole time I was just thinking like, man, if I missed the cutoff by like 5 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever, like I would just be crushed. So I had a pretty strong push at mile 90. And I wouldn't have been able to do that had I not conserved energy throughout the race. Which I didn't feel like I felt like I had nothing left in the tank, but like I guess I had enough energy left to where I was able to make a good push towards the end. And some of my better miles came on those last two loops around Grafton and Wire Mesa. So I went from about 10 minutes of making that last Grim Reaper cutoff to finishing the race with 38 minutes to spare as far as like the 36-hour overall cutoff. So I was pretty happy with that, just with how I finished the race. But there was so much that I learned, so much that I'm going to take from this race and from this experience, because I know I want to do more 100-milers. And my kind of my bucket list race is the Moab 240. That was another cool thing. I met 3 or 4 people that did Moab out here, which is cool because, like, to me, people that do races like that are just in another class themselves. But to meet some of those in person and kind of talk to them about what it's like to do a race like that was pretty cool as well. And it goes to show you too, like there was one guy that did Moab this past October, and he had to drop out of this one mile 55 or 60 or something like that, just because he said he just had a bad day. So it just goes to show, like, just because you can do a 240-mile race, like, just you gotta take what race day gives you. Even those 240 guys, like, they're not invincible when they do hundreds. So yeah, a lot of good takeaways from this event, a lot of good experiences that I'm gonna take forward into my future adventures, which for me, I'm doing the Bryce Canyon 50-miler at the end of May. That's gonna be a redemption from last year when I did not have a good race, but I still finished, but just felt like I could have gave a better effort. In between then, I want to throw in another rim to rim to rim at Grand Canyon, just as a training run. I'm hoping to do that like late April, early May. I got to see what the weather's like. I want to do it before it gets too hot. So I know I already did another video about a rim to rim run, but I'll probably end up filming some of that again, just because that's such an epic day. So those two are what's on the near horizon for me. And then my next 100 that I'm doing, I'm signed up for Javelina 100 at the end of October, down in the valley in Phoenix. So supposedly that one's a lot easier than Zion, but I wanted my first 100 to be through vacation races, because all my ultras have been with those guys. They honestly got me into trail running in the first place. The first ultra I did was the Antelope Canyon 55K, and that was actually my first trail run, period. I was just a road runner before that, and man, like, did that just open up a whole new world for me. So that was my first one, and then I did a couple other trail races in between. So I shouldn't say all my ultras have been through them, because I did a race at Monument Valley through Navajo, yes, the Navajo Parks Recreation Series. But I did Antelope 55K, and then Antelope 50 miler the following year, then Bryce 50 miler, Zion 100K, and now Zion 100 miles. So I've kind of like progressed through the ultra ranks through these Grand Circle races that Vacation Races puts on. So I really wanted my first 100 miler to be with them. So I'm glad that I toughed it out in spite of having to deal with my ankle situation. So I think that's about all I wanted to say. I've already kind of rambled on for like 10 minutes here unnecessarily. So I'm just driving home and thought I'd give some more thoughts on this race. I'm going to do a race recap. I always try to do stuff like that, and you know, I post that to my Facebook account. Feel free to add me, by the way. It's funny, like, guys there that watch my videos don't know my name. I forgot that I kind of go by an alias on this channel, because I have another YouTube channel that has my actual name on it. But yeah, so like if you just search like Jason Baum, B-A-U-M, on Facebook, just feel free to add me. I post a lot of running stuff. I post a lot of pictures from my various adventures, and I'll be working on a race report here in the next few days, and I'll post it on there. Maybe I'll try to link it on the description on this video so it's easier for you guys to find. And add me on Strava too. I already had one guy that I met at this race that had watched some of my videos, and he added me on Strava today. So it'd be cool to kind of connect with people that actually watch my stuff, which is still weird to me, but it's cool. It kind of makes me want to produce some more content. I know I haven't done a video in a while, mostly because I was injured, but now that I'm kind of back out there again, you know, maybe some more content will be coming in. And if there's places that you guys want to see, you know, I love doing like day trips and exploring new places and exploring new trails. And I live in a great area where I'm kind of close to a lot of different things. You know, I'm pretty much in central Arizona, so I like driving. So if there's any places you want to see, let me know. I'll try to film some stuff out there. And yeah, I'm kind of rambling now, so I'm actually gonna turn the camera off. But if you guys watched this whole video or even part of the video, thank you so much. Nice to meet some of you guys out there on this race. If you're gonna be at Bryce, I guess you can look for me there, and I'll be able to meet some more of you there. And yeah, I still can't believe I'm now a 100-mile finisher. I never in a million years would have thought that would be me. You know, as someone who got into running relatively recently, and my first big goal was just to do a marathon. I thought that was like the apex, like the pinnacle of running was running a marathon, which, don't get me wrong, that's a big achievement to run a marathon, but it's like there's so much out there, and so much more that you can do. Even for someone like me, like, I'm not a professional athlete or anything. Like, I'm a regular guy. I work a normal job, you know, full-time, 40 hours a week, sometimes more, usually more. But, you know, I train when I can, and, you know, you can do some pretty epic stuff just on that. So I think that's about it. I'm going to sign off, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.